Kuchisake Onna, the Slit-Mouthed Woman. It was a cold, foggy evening in a quiet suburb. Mark had heard whispers of an urban legend that had been circulating in the town for years. It was said that a vengeful spirit known as Kuchisake Onna, or the Slit-Mouthed Woman, roamed the streets after dark. The chilling tale told of a woman who had suffered a gruesome fate. Her mouth had been slit from ear to ear, giving her a grotesque and terrifying appearance. According to the legend, Kuchisake Onna would approach her victims, her face concealed by a surgical mask. She would politely ask, "Am I pretty?" If the person answered affirmatively, she would reveal her mutilated mouth and ask again. If the response remained positive, she would then use a pair of scissors to mimic her own disfigurement on the victim's face. However, if the answer was negative, she would unleash her wrath, killing the unfortunate soul on the spot. Skeptical but intrigued, Mark decided to investigate the legend further. He spent days talking to locals, researching old newspapers, and piecing together the puzzle of Kuchisake Onna. As he delved deeper, he found stories of missing people, their bodies discovered with gruesome facial wounds. The more he uncovered, the more he believed that the urban legend might hold a sinister truth. One night, unable to resist the urge, Mark decided to venture out and explore the streets himself. Armed with a flashlight and a heavy dose of skepticism, he wandered through the dimly lit alleys. The fog had settled, casting an eerie ambience that sent shivers down his spine. Suddenly, a faint rustling sound caught his attention. As he turned a corner, Mark's heart skipped a beat. A figure draped in a tattered kimono stood before him, her face obscured by a white surgical mask. The silence was suffocating as the two locked eyes. Mark's breath caught in his throat as the woman lifted a delicate hand to her mask, her voice a haunting whisper, "Am I pretty?" His mind raced, torn between fear and disbelief. This couldn't be real, he thought. But the legend had become his reality. Summoning his courage, Mark managed to stammer a response, "Yes, you're pretty." The woman's masked face twisted into a sinister grin as she removed the mask, revealing the horrific gash that extended from ear to ear. Mark's heart pounded in his chest as he backed away, his flashlight trembling in his grip. Before he could react, the woman lunged towards him with a terrifying speed, a pair of gleaming scissors glinting in the dim light. In a desperate attempt to escape, Mark turned and sprinted down the alley, his breath ragged and labored. He could hear the sound of footsteps echoing behind him, growing closer with each passing second. He knew he had to find safety, find a way to break the curse of Kuchisake Onna. As he raced through the dark streets, Mark's mind raced too, piecing together a plan. He remembered the old stories. Kuchisake Onna could be defeated with a clever response. If someone were to offer her ambiguous answers or throw her off guard, they might have a chance to escape her clutches. With his heart pounding, Mark suddenly skidded to a stop and turned to face the approaching figure. His voice quivered, but he managed to muster enough courage to speak, "You're average." The woman hesitated, clearly caught off guard by the unexpected response. Mark took this moment of hesitation to turn and run, his adrenaline-fueled sprint carrying him far away from the cursed creature. He didn't dare look back until he had reached the safety of his own home. From that night on, Mark never ventured out after dark again. The legend of Kuchisake Onna had become all too real, a haunting reminder that some stories were best left unexplored. The experience had left him scarred, the chilling image of the slit-mouthed woman forever etched into his memory. And as he lay in bed at night, he couldn't shake the feeling that the fog outside held secrets that were best left undiscovered.